Hi, this is Ant Carter in my front room, and I just wanted to record something personally to be able to say thank you for becoming a customer of mine. It means a huge amount that you're putting your trust in me to be able to help you develop your business this year. I'm developing my business alongside you, so I'm hoping to be able to share some of the things that work for me and some of the mistakes which I've made and probably will continue to make as I go along that might be able to help you as well. I'm interested in helping you this year. And if I'm not doing that, then I'd like you either to unsubscribe from my email listings or to be able to tell me where I'm going wrong. I don't want to be a person that just sends you endless promotions. I've got enough of those people on my email inbox, and actually, as far as I'm concerned, I am subscribed from people who aren't helpful to me. So I want to try and be different, and I need your help to do it. But before we get on to that, because I'm going to email you about that in a couple of days, I wanted to show people how I've managed to record the videos I've done, both the videos in the members area and on the sales pages and other things you might have seen, because actually the setup that I'm using is much more amateur than it might appear, and it's actually quite easy to get started doing this stuff yourself. So I just wanted to introduce my recording studio, or my spare room, upstairs to you. And look, thank you very much for becoming a customer of mine. You've no idea how good it feels to have released a product that's been received so well. So thank you very much. So let's go into the spare room and have a look at the studio. I bought some light stands from Amazon. These are just cheap and they kind of hardly even stand up, but they fold up quite nicely into these little bags. Into these little bags. And there's a couple of those. So they're lighting the green screen behind me, which I've just nailed to the wall. The green screen, I think I stole from an ex-employer. I was quite worried about delivering things to camera because I say and a lot, and I didn't want that to come across in sales videos and things. So I thought quite carefully about how I was going to do this, whether I was going to learn the script and what kind of workflow was going to work for me. In the end, I got one of these. It's a teleprompter that I put my iPad on on a tripod that's the cheapest tripod in the world, and because the legs don't extend for long enough, I put it on a box that we bought our baby's car seat from. So you can see it's kind of knocked together, this. So let's get something working on the iPad. I'll show you how it works. iPad goes on there with the teleprompter app, and this is what I'm seeing. And doing it this way with a lot of practice about what space to leave between the words and how fast to scroll the words, and eventually you kind of get the idea. And the first few took quite a while, and after that it got a lot quicker. I've been asked what camera I use to record the videos. I bought a Toshiba flip cam, but it didn't charge properly. I think I'd left it upstairs for about 6 months. And on the day when I was wanting to do a load of recording, it just wouldn't charge quickly enough. I thought I was going to be able to plug it in and then record on the fly with it charging at the same time. It just wouldn't do that. So in the end, I used my iPhone. I'll show you. I'll show you the clip that my iPhone fits in. And this is behind a piece of more or less one-way glass, so that you don't get the reflection of the words on the glass. Hold that up there a minute. That just fits like this, and this again clips into a really normal stand for a camera. So you could put a digital SLR or whatever on there. Actually, I just got one of these. I think it cost about $5 from Amazon, and my iPhone fits in between them. And so that's how I've managed to do this, with a couple of lights bought from Amazon, lighting the background, which is nailed to the wall, A teleprompter bought and shipped from America. I think this cost about $110 or something. I think I needed to pay another $40 to get it shipped over here, and the glass is intact. But it works better than I thought it would, and I really couldn't manage without this teleprompter now. I think it's absolutely wonderful. Getting used to using one of these things is more difficult than you might imagine. Let's show you how I fashioned the script. I found it quite frustrating to do things in one go. So whilst I was making these, I'll just spin this along a little bit so you can see. At certain points in here, I realised that I was going to cut away from me, and I put little dots. There you go. I put little dots to tell me that at this stage it didn't matter if my face was looking funny or if I shuffled my legs. And at that point, I was coming back to me, and I'd be smiling or whatever. I found that workflow much less frustrating because I didn't need to do everything in one. Every time I saw the dots, I knew that I was cutting to something else and cutting back. And once I got used to doing that, churning out the videos was a whole lot more productive, a whole lot easier. For recording sound, I also borrowed something from an employer. This is a piece of recording equipment that plugs into some microphones. It's got an SD card which I can stick in the side of my computer just here to be able to store things on. And basically you've got two microphones. Sorry, one microphone. As I said, I'm not that technical. One kind of receiver here that plugs in to the recording device, and then another one I put in my pocket whilst using the lapel mic. This worked incredibly well, and although at one stage I did get some feedback from my phone and I kept getting beeps as things were coming through on my phone, but this is probably the most expensive bit of equipment I've got, and I'm probably going to invest in one rather than keep borrowing things from people, because I think video is going to be an increasing part of my future business. When it came to doing editing, I used Camtasia. This is Camtasia. Scroll out a bit, you can see you've got timeline at the bottom. You can have lots of video tracks along here with the audio tracks, and here we go. If we get rid of the background for a minute, you can see that on the screen I've managed to use chroma key, use the green behind me to, here we go, to be able to get rid of the background. So, and once I realized this was in Camtasia, it was a bit of a no-brainer to use it. There you go. So I've got the opportunity to be able to remove a color, and I selected the green behind it. You then muck about with the tolerance and the softness until you've got something that looks okay. If you go too far, you can see that I disappear. There we go. And with the softness, same thing. But using these sliders, I found it quite easy to do chroma key. I didn't find it difficult at all. And then it's just a matter of finding the right background. So I found an image that I could use as background.